Washington, the top Pentagon legitimate has known as on the civilian and uniformed leaders of the armed services to report on their plans to begin accepting new transgender troops with the aid of July 1, consistent with a memo acquired with the aid of USA Today. Final 12 months, the Pentagon rescinded its ban on transgender troops, allowing the ones in uniform to serve overtly. The policy, mounted underneath then Protection Secretary Ash Carter in the Obama administration, additionally called for the services to develop plans to teach troops approximately transgender issues and to accept enlisted recruits and officer applicants through this summer season. The May additionally aid memo from Deputy Protection Secretary Robert Paintings instructs the carrier secretaries and chiefs of the armed services to assess the Navy's readiness to begin accepting transgender applicants on July 1, 2017. Their checks are due can also 31. The memo additionally contains language that one of the architects of the transgender coverage translates as an opportunity for the services to again out of recruiting transgender troops by elevating the difficulty of how they could have an effect on readiness for fight. The personnel regulations of this department are designed to beautify the war-fighting readiness and lethality of the force that protects our United States of America, Paintings wrote. We do now not intend to rethink earlier choices unless they cause readiness problems that would reduce our potential to combat, live to tell the tale and win at the battlefield. It's the unless in Paintings' memo that problems. Brad Carson, a pinnacle legitimate for Army employees below Carter and primary proposed for rescinding the ban on transgender troops. This could be seen as a possibility to rethink the policy, Carson stated. It's far simply feasible, and it might involve litigation. I do have complete self-assurance in Defense Secretary Jim Mattis to do the proper aspect right here. Paintings, through a spokeswoman, declined to touch upon the memo. Mattis has made the readiness and lethality general that his deputy known as a top precedence for the Pentagon. In advance this month, he rolled lower back the policy that had allowed graduates from the Navy academies to gain a waiver from carrier to pursue careers in expert sports activities. Mattis used the equal word in explaining why he rescinded the coverage and now requires all academy graduates to complete at the least 2 years of lively responsibility provider earlier than trying out for a pro sports crew. The academies exist, he wrote, to expand future officials who beautify the readiness and lethality of the Army. Developing the policy on accepting new transgender troops is taking on new urgency. Later this month, transgender cadets, one on the U.S. Military Academy at West Point and every other on the Naval Academy at Annapolis, are scheduled to graduate and receive stages. But neither could be commissioned as officers due to the fact the Navy has not but evolved a policy to simply accept them. Coincidentally, the military's most well-known transgender carrier member, PVD, Chelsea Manning, was released May additionally 17 from Navy prison. Her 35 years sentence for the massive leak of classified statistics to WikiLeaks commuted in January and shortened to 7 years by using then-President Obama. The effect of transgender troops on Navy readiness turned into the concern last year of the Observe by the RAND Corp, commissioned via the Pentagon. Researchers observed they could have a minimum impact on readiness and fitness carry expenses, in line with the file. Researchers from RAND, a non-income organization, estimated there are as many as 6,000 transgender troops, the various 1.3 million on energetic responsibility. The look at expected that as many 130 transgender troops would have reduced deployability due to gender transition treatment. That variety is negligible in comparison with the 50,000 non-deployable energetic obligation squaddies it determined in 2015, consistent with the RAND record. Increasing the pool of candidates for Navy carrier improves combating effectiveness, stated Aaron Belkin, director of the Palm Center, an organization that researches troubles concerning sexual orientation inside the Navy. The repeal in 2011 of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, the policy that prohibited homosexual and lesbian troops from serving openly, has made the military hire, he said. Research of Don't Ask, Don't Inform and of militaries around the arena has usually confirmed the identical element. Inclusive policy for LGBT troops promotes lethality, Belkin stated. In order the services go back their exams to SEC paintings, we anticipate that they'll verify the same factor another time. Inclusion promotes readiness, and issues had no basis in reality. Representative Jackie Spear, the California Democrat at the Armed Offerings Committee, stated there is no justification for retaining transgender troops from serving or being recruited. Policies that permit lesbian, homosexual, bisexual and transgender troops to serve make the Army extra effective, no longer less. This policy changed into settled remaining 12 months, and I expect that it'll continue to be placed into location smoothly and without incident in order that transgender provider members can hold to serve our youth. Yes, Spears said.